So, we're gonna be going for a more dramatic look today because my light broke. So you're getting the sort of like good guy, bad guy look. This could suck. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and today we're taking a look at all of the Yeezy sneakers that are left to release in 2019. Now, keep in mind that this video is being filmed on October 16th, so some of the releases that might happen in December, if you're watching this video later, might be wrong, and there might be some random releases that I just didn't know about. It's just because it's 2 months early. If I knew what was going to happen in the future, I'd be Yeezy Mafia. They don't seem to like me that much. I'm not sure why. But the reason I wanted to drop today's video is 1, because I'm out of video ideas, and 2, because there's like 8 Yeezys dropping before the end of the year, and Yeezys are some of the most popular sneakers to drop, so I felt like this would still be kind of an interesting video. So like my sit or sell videos, I'll go over each Yeezy that's dropping, when they're dropping, and give you my thoughts on each shoe. Now, of course, these release dates are subject to change, and a lot of times release dates do change, so if you really want a shoe, make sure to stay on top of that release so that you can know exactly when they're dropping. But before we actually jump into the main video, I want to give a quick plug for my second channel, my unboxing channel, which I'm actually going to be doing a sneaker giveaway on in the next couple days because I bought one too many sneakers last week. The link for that channel is in the top of the description, so make sure to subscribe to my unboxing channel so you know exactly when that giveaway happens, and keep in mind it is happening very soon. I have a lot of fun making videos for that channel because it's just unboxing random stuff, primarily electronics, but stuff that I'm buying outside of sneakers, and it's usually a pretty good time. So if you're interested in that at all, make sure to check out that link. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into the Yeezy releases. The first shoe that we're talking about in today's video, and the first Yeezy dropping, is the Yeezy 500 Soft Vision. The Soft Vision is slated to drop on November 2nd, and it's the closest of all the Yeezy releases, at least to now, October 16th. Up until recently, I haven't really been a fan of the 500, but when I got my second pair of bone whites, I really started to like them. And no, it's not, I didn't buy 2 pairs because I felt like I needed 2 pairs. I bought one for a video, then sold it, and then got another pair and started wearing it, and I just really enjoyed it. It's an awesome sneaker. Don't get me wrong, it's still an ugly sneaker, but it's comfortable and it stands out, which I think is the main appeal of the shoe. I've probably been wearing my bone whites 3 out of the 7 days of every week. I really like them a lot, more than I ever would have expected. So that's why I'm so excited for the Soft Visions. It's a Yeezy 500, but it comes in pink, which is kind of crazy because we haven't had a pink Yeezy before. And I think the light shade of pink that they used is actually very clean and also very wearable. It's an easy shoe to wear with pretty much anything, hopefully. Not only that, but they round off the shoe with the gum outsole, and you can never go wrong with the gum outsole. Yeah, it still kind of looks like a bug, but the colorway really helps minimize that, and you don't focus as much on the shapes of the shoe as you do the overall aesthetic of the shoe with that gum color and the pink color. It just goes together really nicely. If you have yet to pick up a pair of Yeezy 500s or you really like pink, this is a great shoe to go for. This is one that I definitely recommend. Next up, on November 9th, we've got the Yeezy 700 V1 Teal Blue. This shoe was originally supposed to release in October, 2 weeks earlier, but for whatever reason they pushed it back to November 9th. And I'm totally fine with that because I'm not looking for this shoe anyway. The Yeezy 700 Teal Blue comes in a year when we've already had 7 or 8 different colorways of the Yeezy 700, all of which are pretty similar. In fact, the last Yeezy 700 release, although it was a V2, was also a blue Yeezy 700. So I don't know what they're doing. On its own, this shoe is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I think the Yeezy 700 is a great looking silhouette, and this colorway is also not bad. But when you've had as many monochromatic Yeezy 700s as we've had this year, I just don't need another one, and I don't think anyone else really does either. I know there are people out there who collect all the Yeezys, or really love the 700, or really like this colorway. I'm just not one of those people. That said, I'm sure the shoe will still be successful. I'm sure it'll still sell out, and at the end of the day, it is still a good shoe. It just is more of the same. Then slated to release on November 16th, we've got a brand new Yeezy silhouette, the Yeezy 380 Alien. Originally rumored to be the Yeezy 350 V3, the 380 Alien is a brand new take on the low-top Yeezy Boost silhouette. It's essentially a much sleeker version of the Yeezy 350, and this shoe does seem to be somewhat polarizing. There are a lot of people out there who just seem to not like this shoe very much, and that's kind of surprising because they've been asking for a new Yeezy for so long. My theory is that people have grown so used to the 350 V2 as kind of the gold standard, and this shoe moves just far enough away from that it does seem kind of alien. It was worth a try. From a distance, this shoe looks very similar to the 350 V2, both in shape and in construction. The material makeup of this shoe seems to be the same. You've got a prime knit upper, a rubber midsole and outsole, and a full-length boost midsole inside the rubber, but the ankle collar, the prime knit pattern, and the smooth midsole really seems to be a point of contention for a lot of people. On this silhouette, it looks like Kanye completely scrapped the ribbing on the midsole, which I think is probably a good thing. He's definitely moving towards a more sleek and organic aesthetic, and you can see that on the 500s, the 700s, and even the upcoming sneakers. sneakers. Shoes like the 750s and the original 350s are all designs of the past, and Kanye really seems to be moving on for a very almost muscular looking sneaker. Muscular as in like what your muscles look like underneath your skin, if you guys sort of catch my drift. Here's a picture of the proposed 700 V3, just to give you guys an idea of sort of where I got that concept. Other than the smooth midsole on the 380 Aliens, you also have a very organic prime knit pattern, something very different than what we've seen in the past. Rather than that translucent stripe that we've grown used to on the V2s, instead you've got a very organic perforation pattern on the side of the sneaker. Not only that, but the pattern on the upper itself almost seems like a fat elephant print pattern, you know what I mean? Like kind of like elephant skin or alien skin, if that's what he's going for. I don't know if he's seen an alien, but if anyone in the world saw an alien, it'd probably be Kanye. They've also changed up the collar of the shoe to a more sock-like ankle collar that kind of hugs your ankle rather than sitting around it. And that's not really a problem for me, it's just different and something that I'll have to get used to. I mean, overall, it's not a bad looking shoe. I don't think it's as visually pleasing as the 350 V2s, but I don't think it's a bad looking sneaker. I will definitely be trying to grab a pair of these to review for you guys as soon as possible, as early as possible. So if any of you guys have any like Adidas plugs or Yeezy plugs, hit me up. I'd love to review that shoe early. And actually, I'd love to know your thoughts on this shoe in the comment section down below, because it's definitely a polarizing look. Then dropping on November 23rd, we've got another Yeezy 500, the Yeezy 500 Stone. This shoe retains the same overall silhouette of the Yeezy 500, but instead switches out the mesh for a sort of neoprene material. And I'm kind of torn on how I feel about this sneaker. It makes the shoe look more sick. I don't know like what else to say. It's got these friggin' like bumps coming off the side of it that I just don't really like. And I know that they're technically there with the mesh version of the shoe, but when you don't have any perforations in the side of the sneaker to distract from the overall shape, you really see them and they look weird. The colorway, however, although still a shade of tan, is a nice shade of tan, even though it looks pretty similar to the other 500s. There is some nice color variation on the upper that sort of splits up the different parts of the shoe, and I like that about it, but overall it is still just kind of a Yeezy 500. And in my opinion, the Soft Visions are a much nicer looking shoe. I forget who it was on YouTube that I was watching who liked this shoe better than every other 500. It might have been, was it Tony? Was it Bull? I don't remember who it was, but someone was saying that they liked this better than all the other 500s, and I can sort of see what they're saying, but for me personally, I'm not a huge fan. Then rounding off November on Black Friday, we've got a restock of one of the most popular 350 V2s of all time, and that's the all black 350 V2. This shoe is dropping on November 29th in full family sizing, and I know a lot of people were really kind of butthurt that they missed out on this pair the first time, and now you have another chance. I don't have much to say about this sneaker. I think it's a great looking 350 V2. I think everything about it is pretty solid. It's kind of like the Pirate Black 2.0, and the Pirate Black 1.0s being my favorite V1, this is probably my favorite V2. It's clean, it's simple, it's all black, it's comfortable, it's a great all-around shoe. And because it's releasing in full family sizing, you can deck out your whole family in Yeezys, which, you know, might look weird, but it's fine. Then we get to December, where release dates aren't totally known, so none of these shoes will have any release dates yet. And the first shoe that's rumored to release in the beginning of December is the Yeezy 500 High Slate. And renders of this shoe look exactly how you'd imagine it. There's no official images of this sneaker yet, but you know, it's a high top 500. It's not that exciting. This shoe looks a lot like the Yeezy boot, and because of that, I don't think a lot of people are gonna be that excited about this shoe. And there's also something about it that's just way worse than the other 500. I think the one thing that kind of saves the original 500 is the fact that it's a low top. This one just makes it look so much more fat, in a bad way, that I just don't think anyone's gonna be that hyped on it. Out of all the shoes on today's list, I know the least about this pair, so I don't even know for sure if this shoe is dropping in November. I just saw this online, so figured I'd report it. Being that I'm a sneaker reviewer, I'm kind of obligated to grab this shoe, so I will probably try and pick up a pair of the 500 highs, but if it's not something you're that interested in, I don't think you're missing anything if you skip it. After that, also releasing in December, we've got the Yeezy 350 V2 Yecheil in both the reflective and the non-reflective colorways. Yecheil, or yecheil, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, is based off the Hebrew name, which means God shall live. And this colorway is part of what some people have dubbed the biblical pack, which is 3 different pairs of Yeezy 350 V2s. The Yecheil is apparently the first colorway to drop and features a black, red, and cream white upper. The base layer of the shoe seems to be primarily black, and you've also got a black midsole and a black outsole, but on the top half of the prime knit, you've got some really dark maroon reds, and just below that, you've got some sort of creams or greenish colors. Other than the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner, it's probably the most mismatching Yeezy to ever release. release, and I think that's a good thing. It's not the prettiest Yeezy in the world, but it's different, and that's what we've been asking for months. I've always kind of thought this sneaker had sort of Christmassy vibes because I thought that cream color was a green at first, and so I thought it was like reds and greens. I don't think that's the intention behind the sneaker, but that's just sort of the first vibe that I got from the shoe. Like I mentioned, there will be a reflective version and a non-reflective version of the shoe, the reflective version being the much more limited version. And just like all the other 350 V2 releases, the reflective version will probably drop a day or two before the standard version. I mean, overall, it's a pretty solid looking 350 V2. It kind of has a patchwork vibe to it. It's not my favorite 350 V2 ever made, but it's not bad, and I'll probably try and grab a pair for myself. After that, we've got another 350 V2 releasing, also apparently from the biblical pack, and that's the Yeezy 350 V2 Jezreel. Again, not totally sure how to pronounce it, but apparently Yezreel is inspired by the Hebrew word Jezreel, which is an Israelite city. But this shoe is probably the most intriguing out of the pack because it seems like we're getting another glow 350. The shoe comes in primarily neon green like the 350 glows, and apparently the green areas do also glow. However, this time around the shoe does have a very apparent static print on the upper of the sneaker in black. It definitely gives the shoe a crazier look, and one that I'm not totally crazy about, but one that I don't mind. Again, this shoe will be releasing in both reflective and non-reflective colorways, with the reflective version being the harder to get pair and also probably the pair that releases earlier. But other than that, construction-wise, it's just kind of a standard 350 V2 that glows, if that's something you like. If you missed out on the original 350 V2 glows and you want a pair of 350s that glow, this is a great way to go. But as of right now, in the middle of October, that seems like all the Yeezy releases that we're getting for the rest of 2019. However, there are still a lot of rumored Yeezys that were supposed to release this year, but seem like they'll be pushed to next year. Those releases include the 350 V2 yecheil, which of course is a part of the biblical pack and features a purple, green, and black upper. And of course, there will be a much more limited reflective version and a standard version releasing. And as of right now, that shoe is slated to release in January near the beginning. But the more that I think about it, the more I think that this might be a regional release, but I'm not totally sure. And what I mean by that is rather than each shoe releasing at different times all around the world, they release all at the same time but in different regions. I don't know if that's something that they would do with this release, but it wouldn't surprise me. Another shoe that we're looking forward to is a Yeezy 380 in the black colorway, pretty much the exact same thing as the 380 Alien except in all black. Maybe people will like this colorway better, I'm not totally sure. Another shoe that's rumored to release that's probably dropping around All-Star Weekend is the Yeezy Basketball Quantum. I'm pretty sure this shoe's been rumored since like 2018, and I'm kind of surprised it didn't come out this year. It's kind of weird, but we've seen Kanye wearing it, so we know it's real. We know that it's probably in production or was in production because we have seen random sample pairs pop up. And NBA All-Star Weekend seems like the perfect time for this shoe to release. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm definitely excited for this one though. After that, we've got a shoe that we've only ever seen in the hands of Don C and on the feet of Kanye West, and that's the Yeezy 700 V3. This is the shoe that I said looks like muscles, and I don't take that back. I think that's exactly what the shoe looks like a jawbone with some sort of like cheek muscles in it. I know it's getting weird, but that's just really what it reminds me of. It honestly reminds me of a Magic School Bus episode. You know, the one where they go into a mouth. And then the last Yeezy that we're waiting on is the Yeezy Foam Runner, which you've seen on Kanye's Kids and in some print ads. This is another example of Kanye's aesthetic getting much more organic. It looks like a piece of like goo sort of pulled apart and wrapped around someone's foot. It's an interesting look and one that I think a lot of people don't like right now, but just like every other Yeezy, when this shoe drops, you're gonna have a ton of hypebeasts lined up to grab it. I know it. And of course, all the shoes that I just kind of skimmed over are supposed to drop in 2020, but there's really no way to know for sure. But that pretty much wraps up all the Yeezy releases that we know about in the near future, so let me know in the comments section down below which one of these shoes you're looking forward to most. Also, don't forget to check out my unboxing channel, which is linked at the top of the description, and again, I'm going to be doing a sneaker giveaway over there, so it's definitely worth subscribing. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.